Good morning, gentlemen. On this fine Sunday morning, I'm Alex Glaze, joined by Jared Smith and Mark Zinno. This is Let's Bet It. Gentlemen, Zinno, you weren't here yesterday, but we had an electric ending to the Saturday show. An electric ending to the Saturday show. The Ice Queen's title was on the line. The crown was on the line. And then 7 minutes into the game, I was feeling great about my Blues. It was 1-0. You know me. I'm chirping in a group chat, feeling good.
Oh, you were chirping, all right.
And Jordan Bennington gets taken out. Was it a dirty play? I don't know. Some will say, there's some history there. Others might say clean, hockey play, whatever. Regardless, the most important player on the ice gets taken out. And from that moment on, we knew what was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So
it was over.
Lauren keeps her Ice Queen title and
I feel responsible because I was backing you. I was like, this is going to happen tonight, and then like a minute later, Bennington got hurt. So
I couldn't have felt better. I couldn't have felt better when they scored that goal. When they scored that goal, I was feeling phenomenal.
And Bennington looked great early in the game.
Tell me that it was 6:45 into the game. 6:45.
Yeah.
And then
there's really not much
on the main screen. I suffered through it. Yeah, there's not much to say because at that point, it was just kind of a done deal.
You bet on a team and their goalie that was literally the reason why they won the first, almost won the first game and won the second game. Got hurt 6 minutes into the game. There's really there's not much. You just have to throw your arms up and just move on.
I'm not going to speak the guy's name between the pipes for the
full disclosure. Is he in the graveyard already?
Better goaltending in the ECHL, so I'm not going to say anything else.
I will say again. Full disclosure. I didn't see the end of yesterday's show, but I already knew what had happened last night when I was texting Glaze. We were in mid-conversation. He just pivots out of nowhere to, I can't take this NHL show. The guy gets hurt. I'm like, okay, so obviously that's where his play of the day was. So yeah, it just
no. That was not my play of the day. That was not my play.
No, he didn't give out play of the day. Actually, but I was gonna message both of you guys because randomly during the Orioles game last night, we got a quote tweet of a strikeout box with the guy that you did bet on for your play of the day, and you were like, he already should have 2 strikeouts or something. He
should have struck out the side in the first inning.
He struck out the
first inning.
Oh,
listen.
God.
Oh, listen, I'm not above tweeting
out the box with where the
strike was. I know you're not. Listen,
I'm not above it.
I already hit a Kyle Bradish.
You guys can't see this, but listen.
I can. We can.
The seventh pitch on both of these. In both these boxes, one was a ball, one was a strike. What's the difference? They're in the same spot.
Robo-umps.
But it's
Mad Glaze is your favorite Glaze.
Yeah.
You know what we need to have while we're talking about robot umps? We need to have something like tennis has, right? Like put chips in the balls, have an automated zone, whatever. Have the human element. But guess what? Instead of a challenge where you got to go put the headphones on, wait for New York, just, hey, raise your hand up. And guess what? We go right to the screen.
They do that in
right away.
It's like automated. I've seen John Boy tweeted it out like last year. I forget when, and they showed like the routine of a cricket review.
Yeah,
and there was no like controversy. There was no managers on the field screaming. It just happened, and the game continued. Like you think billion-dollar industry like baseball would be able to figure it out, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Anyway, that was yesterday. We're on to today though. The play of the day did hit, so now we're going for 5 straight. 5 straight. And I think I'm going to roll with another plus money K prop, but who knows? That thing could change between now and the end of the show. So Jack, stay on your toes. We might have a change. Who knows? But make sure as we get ready to get into today's show, make sure you subscribe to the Pickswise YouTube channel. We do the show every morning at 10 a.m. Hopefully give out a lot of winners, a lot of good information for you every day so that you can bet better. And make sure you are also following us on social media as well. Make sure you download the Pickswise app, available on the Apple App Store and in Google Play. And subscribe to the morning newsletter, Wise and Shine. Why not? It's free, and you can find in the description of this YouTube link, if you're watching on YouTube right now, the link to click and join with your email. It's going to give you everything you need to know to start your day. So we do all the work behind the scenes for you, or someone at Pickswise, not me, does all the work for you behind the scenes so that you can just wake up, read the newsletter, and have all the information that you need to make some smart bets. So make sure you subscribe to that newsletter, Wise and Shine, as well. Big show today. We have a lot to get to. We got some baseball. Of course, we're going to talk Better Up. NBA. Sorry, my watch is talking to me. NBA Morning Radar, NHL Ice Picks, and then we're going to finish things off with our play of the day. But before we do, Jared, it's the final day of the EPL season, so let's bet it, and let's start with some kick picks to start this show off, because we got some matches kicking off at 11 a.m.
Yeah, 45, 50-ish minutes. So get this one in now. So the EPL is actually a pretty good race coming down to the last day. Man City has a 1-point lead over Liverpool. And obviously all 20 teams are in action. They kind of do the same thing that the NFL does on the final day of the regular season. They all play at the same time, so there's no, weird stuff that happens with one team needing to win and then the other team just kind of, mails it in. Everyone starts at the same time. The top four is not fully set. Tottenham has not fully clinched the top four spot yet. They have a very important match on the road today at Norwich, but that's not where we're going. We're just going to dabble a little bit with the teams that need to win to clinch their spot. And then there's one total that I really like. So City, listen, I can't see them losing this match at home to Aston Villa. I think they're going to win. So they go in the parlay as a money line. Liverpool is behind by a point. So I'm worried that if City gets off to a good start against Villa and then Liverpool goes in at halftime and sees that scoreline, they might take a little bit off in the second half. So we're going to go Liverpool first half money line. They're hosting Wolves today. So that goes in the parlay. And then finally, Leeds and Brentford. So Leeds is in dire straits right now. They are right on the cut line to be relegated. They are tied with Burnley at 35 points. Right now, Leeds is on the chopping block because of the tiebreaker. And I think they're going to come out really strong and really push hard against Brentford. They're already a high-scoring team to begin with. Brentford also has been a very high-scoring team of late, 20 goals in the last 10 EPL matches. So we'll throw the over 2.5 in the parlay as well. So it's Man City money line, Liverpool first half money line, Brentford Leeds over 2.5. We'll have 3 of the 10 matches with a little bit of a parlay leg going. Plus 168 is the price there at MGM. So just for fun, 1 unit sprinkle. We'll have a little fun today. We'll bet on some EPL. Last day of the season. Kick picks are going to bed for the summer. So get in now while you still can.
We got a question in the chat. Can Man U win today?
Yeah, they better win today. They're facing Crystal Palace. They should win. It's Ragnick's last game. But I saw our Racing Post friends like the draw there at like 2-1. I'm not betting Man U. Man U's a tough bet right now. They are out of the race for the top 4. I believe they are in the Europa League now. And it looks like they'll be in the Europa League unless they lose and West Ham wins. But staying away from United today.
Staying away. All right, let's get into some baseball now with some Better Up. Let's talk some Nerfies and Yerfies because you guys like to talk about that stuff. No run first innings, went 9-6 yesterday. Now 302.97 on the season. Some notable streaks here. We got the Reds, 5 straight no run first innings, and the Mets have scored in the first inning in 10 of their last 11. I believe.
Crazy.
Is that what's it? 10 of their last?
Yeah, 10 of the last 11. They've scored in 9.
They've scored in 9, but there has been a run in the first inning in 10 of the last 11. I got you.
That's a lot. I mean, 10. They've scored in 9 of 11 games in the first inning. That's like a 75, 80% streak. That's freaking crazy. And Mark's going to fade that today.
Yeah, so let's start right there because you
tell us why
right away.
Every time I do a show with you, since you and I have dissected this Uber times over, I'm always going to bring up the Coors Field Nerfie as a possibility. And at plus 134, I'm not going to walk away from it. It's that simple. It's Austin Gomber, for crying out loud, at home. Austin Gomber has been great at Coors Field. And I know it's Taijuan Walker for the Mets. I'm not so much worried about Colorado scoring because I think the Mets pitching staff is just that much more superior. But I am worried about, the Mets continuing this hot streak that they're on at this point in time. And it is Austin Gomber. That's the only reason. If it was a different start, I wouldn't be so happy about it. Me and Gomber, we like this, man. He's paid dividends for me before. So I'm just stay with it at plus 134. It's just way too much value for me to walk away from. I don't mind losing. I was saying this on another show I was on. Like in this case, if I put $100 down and to win 134, I don't mind losing $100 much more than I would mind losing 160, lay to win 100, right? You followed him? Like if I'm going to take an L, I'd rather it be on this side and not pay the extra juice than for something that's so obvious because the Mets have been scoring in so many first inning runs. Yeah. You guys know me. I set limits for this stuff hardcore and I don't stray from it. So there's no way I'm actually taking a yes in this situation. I'll take the no.
I agree. The value's on the other side. And Walker's got good numbers at Coors Field. Remember, he pitched in Arizona for 3 years. So he's familiar with Coors Field. I looked at this very hard, and I'll probably put a half unit on it to tell you because I love you and respect you. But the Mets streak right now is just it's insane. It's ridiculous. 9 of the last 11 they've scored a run in, including I think they went 1-1 yesterday. They scored in one of the games and they conceded in the other. But the YRFI did hit both times yesterday. I've been wrong so far about the YRFI at Coors Field. I thought the NRFI would be profitable. Now it's only May, but right now it's 16-8 to the YRFI at Coors. So they're going to have to keep up that percentage if they want to be profitable.
Yeah, but again, remember the NRFIs pay out better.
Yes,
the NRFIs pay out better than the NRFIs. So even if you're 8-16 unit wise, you might not be down as much as you think you would.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's 6 units. You're down 6 units, but you're 8-16. That's not terrible.
Yes, that's not a bad way to be.
10 units if there's juice on the other side.
Any other baseball plays you're on today, Zinner?
Yeah, let's go to another NRFI. In fact, my play of the day is also a NRFI. So let me give you one more here that this is the first one I found. And then I did more research and I found the other one, which trumped this one and made it my play of the day. But let's head to Milwaukee, taking the Nationals and the Brewers here. Under a half run in the first inning is minus 118. Now, both of these teams actually in the top 10 in first inning run scored percentage. They both average over 33%. Let's flip it around, though. You take a Milwaukee Brewers team that's fourth in Major League Baseball in opponent first inning run scored percentage at 20.5%, but they're fifth in Major League Baseball in first inning run scored percentage for their opponents just 16% of the time. For Washington, they're 11th in Major League Baseball in opponent first inning run scored percentage at 25%, but they're third on the road at just 20%. Aaron Sanchez starts for the Washington Nationals. He's held his opponent scoreless in 3 of his last 5 outings. You get Freddie Peralta, a dominant pitcher here. It's not as juicy as I would have thought, all things considered, because these two teams can score in the first. Minus 118, no runs in the first inning between Washington and Milwaukee.
I like that one. I like that one a lot because I'm on the Peralta K prop. Yeah, plus 116 to the over 6.5. Fangraphs hasn't projected for 7.1. He's gone over this number in 4 straight. He had an unbelievable start against your Braves the other day. 10 Ks in 7 innings. 90th percentile K rate this year for Peralta. 89th percentile whiff rate. And for me with Peralta, it's the walks that have been the issue, and that's what usually gets him out of games early. But he's got the lowest walk rate of his career right now at just 8.1%. And good numbers against the Nats. Now, the Nats don't strike out a ton, under 20% on the year, 21.2 against righties. But he's got a 32.5% K rate and 37 plate appearances against the Nats in his career, which isn't a huge sample size, but still worth noting. And it's also worth noting that he's better in day games, about a half a run difference on the ERA than he is in night games. So always look at the day-night splits on Sundays because some guys like starting in the day, some guys don't. Peralta's one of those guys that it does not affect him at all. Speaking of day-night splits, too, Steven Matz, this is like a morning-night split. It's 11:35 Eastern start against Pittsburgh, but he has really good day-night splits. So his K per 9 during the day is a full strikeout higher, 9.3 to 8.3 at night, and his ERA is over a run higher at night, 4.77 at night, 3.57 during the day. So Matz likes the daytime, and he's got better numbers than you would think this year. ERA is way elevated at 6.03, but his expected ERA is 3.92. 7 strikeouts in back-to-back starts against the Orioles and Mets. I know the Orioles are bad. The Mets are not bad, as we just said, especially in the first inning. And over 5.5, basically even odds. I laid 4 cents over at FanDuel. Fangraphs has him projected for 5.6. I like Max's numbers, low strikeout or low walk rate, high strikeout rate this season. And I think 5.5 against the shitty Pirates lineup is a pretty fair price. So I'll go over 5.5 on Max, over 6.5 on Peralta as my 2K props today.
Like that. All right, I'm looking at Logan Gilbert for the Mariners, over 5.5 strikeouts today. Plus money, plus 104. Facing a Red Sox team that doesn't strike out a whole lot, right? But coming off a strong 9 strikeout performance against the Blue Jays the other day, another team that doesn't strike out a whole lot and ranks top 10 in fewest strikeouts per game. So, he's faced, some strong lineups so far in his outings this season. Looking at this, he's gone over this number in 3 straight games, right? And in 5 of his 8 outings this season. So I think it's worth a flyer. And I think we're getting a good number at plus money here. And this is a guy that also goes long. He's thrown 95 or more pitches in each of his last 5 starts here. So it's not a guy that's going to get pulled if he starts to struggle. And he hasn't really struggled this season. So he's looked great. It's going to be a tough out. It's by no means going to be easy, but I think we can get 6 strikeouts today at plus money. So I love a good K prop because I love getting on Baseball Savant or ESPN and watching the little box and just I like watching the game.
You're gonna get a text message. What time does the game start? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
That's a 1 o'clock game.
You're gonna text at 1:45. That's gonna be the message.
It's not even gonna be that far. It'll be more like 1:15. It'll be in the bottom of the first inning for crying out loud.
First pitch. Listen,
first pitch.
1:35 is first pitch. Listen, I don't think it's too much to ask for people to do their job, like across the board. Like if your job is to be the home plate ump, be good at your job. I don't think that's tough to ask, right?
All the borderline pitches strikes today. Whoever the home plate ump is in Boston.
Unfortunately, in America, we have a lot of people
keep a close eye on that one.
Do their jobs.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. It's a sad state of
Another
affairs.
guy I was liking was Tony Gonsolin, but price is a little juicy at minus. I think it's around 150 today against the Phillies, so a little too juicy for me. So I'm not.
Stay away. By the way, Glaze, I got one.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I actually really like this one. I might tell you on this one, Mark.
So I actually like both pitchers in this game to hit their K prop. In the Braves and Marlins, Ian Anderson goes for the Braves. Sandy Alcantara goes for the Marlins. Ian Anderson is much better against lefties than he is against righties. So the Marlins have a very righty-heavy lineup, but Ian Anderson has been much better on the road this year than he has been at home. The Marlins have the 6th highest K rate. He's got a low number at over 4.5 at minus 112. I feel good about him hitting that number, but I feel even better about Sandy Alcantara against the highest K rate team in baseball in the Atlanta Braves. Now, the juice is more than I want to pay at minus 134 for my K prop. So what I will do is suggest people to do this. You can go find an alternate K prop. If you go to FanDuel, instead of going over 5.5, you can go 7 or more and get plus 140, which is where I think the smarter and more value play is. Again, it goes back to that whole thing. If it lands right on 6, I'd rather lose 100 getting plus 140 than have it land on 5 and me lose 134 only to win 100. So I think the over 5.5 hits regardless. I'll roll the dice that it won't hit on 6, and I'll take the alternate K prop and get plus 140.
I don't hate it. I don't hate that at all. I think Alcantara is the guy that, of all the pitchers on the Marlins, he's the one that
he's
has
the
highest upside with the stuff. And that Braves also, is there something to be said? And I don't know. I always go back and forth about this. Day game in Miami after they played at night, right? It was a night game last night. Yeah. I could see some sleepy bats today in the daytime after a night game in Miami last night. Didn't get a whole lot of time off. Maybe the guys went out after the game. We should ask Lauren about that. She did the Braves, right? I don't know. That could be an interesting little angle to throw out there, but who knows? Might not matter.
We're not talking about Lauren anymore today.
Lauren's on the shit list.
I've been texting her though.
The Ice Queen is polishing her throne.
Yeah. I've been texting her. Whatever. All right, let's move on and talk some NBA now. Because we got Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals today. We got Warriors on the road in Dallas for the first time today. And the Warriors they kind of got dominated in Game 2, somehow came out with a win there because of that second half performance. 3-point dogs. So the Mavs 3-point favorites at home. That total 218.5. So how are we feeling about this one? As tough as player props have been in the NBA this postseason, can we just talk about that for a second? Because it's been pretty brutal between guys missing time. You got Jimmy Butler yesterday. Obviously, hope he's feeling well and is healthy, but, knee inflammation, not playing the entire second half. It's just been a wild, wild ride of inconsistency. I don't know. It's been unpredictable, and it's been really tough to get some NBA props going.
It's just tough for you guys. It's just tough for you.
It's tough for me.
That game.
Okay, fair enough.
That game last night was ridiculous. The Heat win the first quarter by 1,000,000. Then Jimmy Butler gets hurt. And then all of a sudden the game gets close, and Boston still couldn't win, even without Jimmy Butler on the floor. And I know that has nothing to do with this game today, but the volatility of the NBA, 20-point leads don't matter. You don't know who's playing half the time. It's honestly, I think it's the toughest postseason to bet. I really do believe that. I really do. Usually I think the postseason gets a little easier in certain sports, especially the NHL, I think. I have nothing on the NBA today. Absolutely no idea. I hope the Warriors win. We're 2 wins away from a 5-1 ticket cashing on the Warriors, but I am dumbfounded with this NBA postseason. It's been really tough.
All right, Zeno, I'm looking at the card here. You're on the Mavericks today. So talk to me about it, because while I feel like on the Twitter world, at least my Twitter world, I feel like everyone's on the Mavericks today. I don't know.
Let's look at this objectively, shall we? And again, I wrote this up for the Pickswise website. And full disclosure, by the way, can I just peel back the curtain a little bit? So we had a little bit of confusion. I was supposed to do the write-up last night for the Heat Celtics, and I didn't get it in time. It's on me, whatever. But me and Andrew Wilshire were going back and forth, one of our guys behind the scenes there, and they gave it to somebody else, and then somebody else had it wrong. And I emailed them at halftime and said, by the way, this was going to be my write-up for the game in which I had the Heat plus 5.5 and over 207.5. So thank you very much. Nonetheless, let's go to Golden State and Dallas here. So Dallas at home this year has only not covered one game. And that was the very first game against Utah when they were 5.5-point dogs and they lost the game by 6. But here's the thing. Golden State is on fire from a shooting perspective. They're shooting 56% from the field and 42% from three. Those numbers are eerily similar to what the Phoenix Suns were shooting at home in the first 2 games of their series. Flip the script, get it back to Dallas. What did Dallas do to Phoenix? Held them to 94 points in Game 3, and they go on to win the game handily. I expect the same thing to happen here. The rub for Dallas is 2 things. They've got to limit Golden State's perimeter shooting, which I think that they can do, and not allow them to shoot better than 40% from 3. And Luka's got to get more people involved. Get this, guys. In the losses since the beginning of the Phoenix series, Luka is averaging 36 points and just 5.8 assists. In the wins, he's averaging only 30 points and 8 assists. He's got to get other guys involved. Clearly, him scoring 42 is not enough by himself to win if he can't get any other secondary scoring. And they needed it badly in the second half in that game, in Game 2 against Golden State here. Dallas is the right side, as is the under, by the way. And I've been a sucker for Golden State overs like you wouldn't believe this entire postseason. You couldn't find me on a Golden State under. However, given where this series is headed and what I've seen, I trust Dallas at home. I think they keep Golden State to around 100, under 105, and they win this thing in the range of 110 to 105. Not only do they cover, but the under comes in. I don't know that it's in Dallas's best interest to try to play an over game. They could win one, but if they want to beat Golden State, they've got to limit them. They've got to keep this total down. I think it's the only way they get a win here. Backs against the wall. I like Dallas a lot today.
Yeah, I feel like I'm with you. And if you're going to back Dallas, I think this is the game to do it, right? This is when you do it.
This is it.
Yeah.
I don't win today.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of along those lines then with what you're saying and other players that need to get involved. One of the guys that I'm looking at today, what the play that I'm going to give out for this game, Reggie Bullock, over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists, minus 125 on DraftKings. He's gone over that number in both games in this series already and has gone over it in 5 of 6 home games this postseason. So we're looking at we're talking about the Mavericks and role players that need to step up. You know, I don't know if it's cliche. I think it's true. Role players play better at home, right? And I think that Bullock's going to be one of those guys that steps up in a big way for the Mavs today. So I'm looking at over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists, minus 125 on DraftKings.
In Game 6 against Phoenix, he went bananas, like just crazy when they really needed him to. And he was good in the last game, too, against Golden State.
He can get you 17 points. Right? That's the thing. Like,
I agree with the Mavs today. This is the day to bet the Mavs. You either bet the Mavs or you don't bet this game in terms of the side. The total is, who knows? The under makes sense, but good luck. These guys get hot.
The under makes sense. And Dino and I were texting last night, and I think we needed 10 points in 40 seconds, and it ended up going over by like 5 points. So you ended up getting 15 points in 42 seconds.
It's at 197. I go, I need 10 points in 40 seconds. Can this happen? Next thing, Celtics 3. Boom, 7 points. I'm like, yes. And then technical foul.
Technical foul, 3. Yeah, exactly.
Technical foul. Just attack on the tee for.
It's 106 to 100, and Oladipo's at the free throw line with like 20 seconds left for 2 technicals. And he hits the first one. I'm like, there it is. And then he misses the second. I'm like, this SOB just missed the second. Glaze is like, wow. And then finally they get that free Bam Adebayo dunk and then a garbage 3 from the Celtics. But yeah, it was a little more sweaty than I wanted it to be.
And it looks like the splits are favoring Dallas today too. At MGM, I like the bet counts even, but the handles on Dallas. Dallas, I agree. I think if you're going to make one bet on this game today, I think you bet Dallas and you kind of move on. The props are always volatile. I agree. The home team role players, if you can pick the right role players for the home team, you should be able to hit a prop number. But I think if the best play on this game is probably this game is being priced like they want Golden State action. And I understand why, this is the motivation. You're paying a tax for the motivation, but Golden State, this is probably the game where they take their foot off the pedal just a little bit, maybe.
The only thing that I would look at, and I'm looking for the prop right now, is the player assist. What do they have Doncic at? If they have Doncic under 8,
8.5.
See, it's at 8.5. Yeah. See, but you're getting plus money to go over. They're daring you to take it in a sense because you're getting plus money to go over. I don't feel, if it was 7.5, I'd feel better. That threshold right there for Luka once you get to 8, because if he gets to 8, it's like he's going to get to 11.
Well,
right?
How about we do this? How about we do this? How about we do the Mavericks 2.5, lane 2.5. Luka over 7.5 assists is plus 155. That's not a bad price there because you would think that is a very correlated bet. If Luka gets 8 assists, the Mavericks are probably winning this game, and you're taking away the juice on the Mavericks laying 2.5 points, which is like minus 115, and you're taking away that insane juice on Luka's over assist prop, which is whatever it is at 7.5 if you want to buy an assist. That is a very safe correlated play, plus money. That feels like a decent spot, right?
Oh, yes. Now, when you parlay it, I'm the guy who always says I need one more, but you never need one more. So if you add the under into that, does that get me at least 3-1?
Oh, 100%, because that's an uncorrelated parlay with the under. If you go 3-1, it's plus 425 at MGM.
Oh, so if we go 3 of them, we'll get plus 425.
I'll rephrase.
The assists and the under.
Mavericks minus 2.5. Luka over 7.5 assists. Under 218 in a hook is plus 425 at MGM.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Giggity. Not bad.
If you look at the hamster on Glaze's wheel right now. It's just, he's like, wait.
Glaze is already betting it in his mind. He's already driving to whatever casino he has to drive to.
Well, no, I can't drive anywhere. I'm on lockdown for the next 3 days. But
that's right, quarantine. You got to get like a runner. Back in the day in Vegas, they had runners. Used to go to the casinos and bet things for people.
What's the matter? You got cough due to cold?
you know.
COVID, bro. He's got to hydrate.
We're feeling good though. We're feeling good. We're feeling good.
I think that's not bad.
My question for you guys: if we wanted to do this, I mean, if you're scared, why not do the Luka under 30? Are you guys scared of the 33.5 points?
Yeah, I'm scared of Luka just doing.
I was gonna say,
I'm 7 in Phoenix. Like, are you kidding?
You don't want to watch a game betting on Luka under.
Expect any game.
Yeah, I mean,
especially I would say, to be honest with you, I think the last thing I saw, Andrew Wiggins questionable in this game as well, and he's been kind of the guy that's been the primary defender on
monstrous
in this series.
He's been
which would be obviously
by the way,
big loss for both.
By the way, the one prop that has been, and Brian Scalabrine brought this up the last time we did the show, the Steph rebound numbers in this series have 100%. Been insanely high. His over, if you want to add a fourth, take his over of 6.5 at plus 116, because the one guy that they're not going to put on Luka is Steph. So he's standing around. He got 12 rebounds in game 1. He had 8 rebounds in game 2. And we're still getting plus money to the over here.
10-1.
I like that.
Steph over 6.5 rebounds. The under 218.5. Luka over 7.5 assists. Mavericks laying 2 and a hook is 10-1. Man.
Again, when you always say you need one more in a parlay, you don't need one more. When you think you need one more, you don't need one more. So at that point, I would tell you take one out. But at 10-1,
I'll be honest. I love the Curry rebounds prop. So that game the other night, he was like the primary rebounder under the basket for the majority of the game, and he's on the floor for so long. And if he is that guy that is becoming, because Golden State does not have a true rebounder, although Looney's been interesting in this series, he has been interesting in the series. That could be your off-color, off-brand kind of prop that no one really expects. That just, what did he have? 7 in the first half the other night?
Yeah.
Like, it was over by halftime. Plus money.
Yeah.
5.5 was cooked, done and dusted.
And it's gone up from 5.5 to 6.5, and they keep raising it.
That's the hesitation. That's the hesitation is they finally moved it up, but the look is there still.
Absolutely. All right, let's switch gears and let's go to the ice. We got three playoff games today. Let's start with the Panthers at Lightning. Zino, you are on the Ice Cats. Talk to me.
Well, I really would love to have the 1.5 on the puck line, but at minus 275, you may as well put a shotgun in my mouth. I'm just not going to do it. So I cannot endorse that in any size, way, shape, or form. Next best play, Florida on the money line at minus 114. The desperate team here needs to get a win. This is an offense that's averaged over 4 goals a game during the regular season. You guys know what they're averaging during the postseason? Just 2.75. Guess who has as many power play goals as the Florida Panthers do during this postseason? Alex Glaze, Jared Smith, and Mark Zeno. Big fat 0. So if they are going to get right, it's going to happen this game. If they don't, if they can't find a way to get the puck in the back of the net and beat Vasilevsky, they're going to be in an 0-3 hole, and they're going to be going home. So give me the more desperate team. Money line is not that juicy versus an offense really that can get back to form. I'll back the Panthers here.
And the Lightning are really banged up right now too, aren't they? They're pretty banged up.
It's experience, man. They just know how to grind better than any team in the NHL.
They do. All right, let's talk about your Rangers now. They're returning to MSG today. Face the Canes. We're talking about a desperate team. The Rangers are a desperate team also, right? So I think we're on the same side.
But the Rangers outplayed the Canes.
I agree.
Like the Panthers haven't outplayed the Lightning.
I agree. But that's why I'm looking at this as this is a good Rangers money line spot, right?
Very good.
Everyone's expecting them to come home, play with focus, come out with a sense of urgency. MSG is going to be crazy, playoff atmosphere, whatever. But, the Canes have kind of been a team of Jekyll and Hyde this postseason, right? Like dominant at home, but really lackluster on the road. Kind of sketchy on the road if you want to go that route. Outscored 14-6 in road games against the Bruins, and lost all 3 of those road games. So, I'm looking at that, how they played on the road last series, and I'm looking at how Shesterkin has looked. He's looked solid between the pipes. I know I was questioning him going into this series because I wasn't sure how he would look kind of up here. But he's been great. The problem's been the Rangers' offense, right? They just haven't been able to score. Okay. They have not been able to score, but I think that, when you come back home, they're going to have that sense of urgency. I'm expecting the Rangers offense to finally click and get something going here today. The defense has been great. Igor's been great.
You get the normal Igor Shesterkin. Yeah.
They've outplayed the Queens this series.
Do you think I should make some waffles for breakfast? What do you think?
I think you should make some waffles for breakfast. We'll peel back the curtain here before we get to PODs. So, yeah. We'll peel back the curtain on why we're giggling with each other. That said,
so I really think this is a good spot, Mark. Tell me why the Rangers are the best spot of the day on the ice. I really do think it's a good spot.
I mean, the defensive way that they are playing is their strength. They get a bad bounce in game 1 on a deflection in overtime in a game they shouldn't lost. They give up a freaking shorthanded goal when they're on a power play in a 0-0 game. Like, it's just like, God, do they just assume every bad thing is going to happen to them? But in reality, they've pretty much outplayed Carolina this entire series. And their offense hasn't had anything to show for it. The problem is, and why I only lean on the Rangers money line, and I get all the reasons that you guys are there, and I back them 100%. The schizophrenia this Rangers team is showing to me, I can't get a good beat on it. They can't stop anything in the Penguins series. Shesterkin looks like he's getting beat like a rented mule, and all of a sudden they get back in this.
We love the crazy girl, though. We can't shake the crazy girl. Let's go. We're on board.
That's why I'm older than both of you guys.
I'm on board.
Okay? That's why I've passed that. Thank you. Give me the granny panties and the stay-at-home lady. We're fine. Thanks. I don't need any excitement.
I need volatility. I want the ride.
I know. You do. Yeah. You enjoy your stilettos. Give me some flats and a moo-moo.
Sounds pretty comfortable, actually. So I don't understand this line at all. I don't understand how the Rangers are a home dog here. And I feel like we have to bet them as a home dog. I mean, I saw plus 105 at one of the shops, even odds at another one. And then the 3-way money line price is very favorable. And again, it goes back even against Boston. Carolina was brutal on the road. They are not a good road team. They are the opposite of a good road team. And this is the season, similar to Dallas tonight with the Mavs. Like, this is it. And we're actually, frankly, I thought the Mavs were going to be a pick-em. The fact that they're favored, I think, tells you everything you need to know. The fact that the Rangers, I think, when we get to game time, which is afternoonish, 3-ish, not like an evening, I would expect the Rangers' money line to have flipped to minus money. Should I make this the pod? I don't know. I feel like the NRFI is solid, but this is a Jack Harrison special. If I do this, you know what? Screw it, Jack. Plus 155, 3-way money line. Rangers get it done. We'll make it the pod. We'll have some fun with that in a second. But this is the Rangers' day. This is the Rangers' day. I think they get it done at home.
Anybody interested in the first period under 1.5 goals for minus 128? Just throwing it out there.
Hold on. It's funny that you mentioned that. How about the first game, first period under? I saw plus 125 for under 1.5, and I'll take it a step further. How about no goal? This is the Panthers Lightning game I'm talking about. How about no goal first 10 minutes is plus 140? Now, I know that can be fluky, but you're getting a very good price. Those teams, Florida and Tampa Bay, are 10-4-3 to the first period under in the postseason, over 8 units.
Because Florida hasn't scored
today. Also, early start time game, 1 o'clock Eastern. The Florida Tampa Bay first period under might be going on the card too.
Plus 116 is what I saw that last night. I haven't checked this morning, but listen, it's all out there, boys. Zeno's period, always a way to go.
All right, so we're all in on the Rangers. Jared's going to talk more about his play later on in the play of the day. So we got some more waffles. Some more waffles being served.
You guys love waffles.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Any plays for this Flames Oilers game? I feel like that's kind
over.
Yeah. Why fight it? Why fight? I mean, the over is at 7. 23 goals in the first 2 games. The over set at 7. It's plus money at 114. Even if I push, I'm like okay with it. I'm not going to find a reason to look for this game to go under. Calgary and Edmonton are 1st and 3rd in this postseason in shots. Like they just keep firing. You know, like it's Glaze back in his college days talking to women. Just fire. Eventually you'll get one.
90% of the bets.
Volume shooter. Nothing wrong with volume shooter. Listen, if you listen to my reasoning for taking any 3-point props, one of my reasons more times than not is I love the volume. I like volume shooters. The volume's there.
Alex is a volume shooter, no doubt.
Marcus Smart, no volume last night though, kind of blew, but we moved on to today. All right, let's wrap things up though. Before we do though, Jared, you got some Sunday plays for us as we get ready for a Sunday with the PGA Championship.
Yeah, sadly, no Sunday red for Tiger today. No red numbers and no red polo.
Here's the thing, though. Tiger didn't look healthy.
Yesterday.
He didn't look great yesterday. Listen, there's no reason to hold on, Zeno. Before you do what you do, which is annoying and nobody likes, there's no reason to bet Tiger for anything other than make or miss the cut, right? Like that's the play for Tiger moving forward.
That was the only bet to make on Tiger this week.
That's it. Yeah. You don't do any top 20, top 40, but like no top 10s, no to win, just
top
make or
70
miss
to make the cut. That's really
the play
it.
For Tiger,
top
right?
70
that's
to make
it.
the cut.
As long as it's plus money.
Only play for Tiger moving forward until further notice. Until
it was
he
on
can
the
put
fence.
together.
It was like even odds, and it fluctuated a little bit because everyone bet it. But it was right around.
I think it was even money for him to miss the cut. I think that's
right.
It vacillated. It waffled back and forth because a lot of people bet it, obviously. But I think it started at plus money and then it finished at minus. I forget where it ended.
The only other play you can take on Tiger is his round 1 match over somebody, because that's going to be his best round of the tournament by far. If he doesn't win in round 1, he's not beating anybody in round 2. So
very fortunate with the draw too. Like if he would have been in the late group and then the early group on Thursday, Friday, he would have missed the cut by a mile. He was very fortunate that he teed off early Thursday, late Friday. Or else he would have been on the. I mean, to be fair, it might have been better off for his physical health long term if he wouldn't have played yesterday, because he was. And I mentioned it to Diane on Saturday morning show after his round on Friday when he did the interview with Amanda Balionis. He looked like he had just been through like 100 rounds. Like he was struggling. You could tell. You could see the physical disposition just deteriorate after that round on Friday. But yes, I do have one head-to-head matchup. I got a better price on it too while we were doing the show. MGM hung a different number that's slightly better. Davis Riley over Chris Kirk plus 105. This is a 2-ball matchup, meaning if it finishes even, we lose. If it finishes even, we lose. He has to beat Kirk. You can lay 10 cents for the draw push, meaning you'll get your money back on a draw. But I'd rather take the plus money because I think Davis Riley's going to win this head-to-head here. Kirk has the edge in putting this week, and that's why I like Davis Riley a lot, because he's actually a pretty good putter, but he hasn't been putting in that well this week. Davis has the edge everywhere else. Approach, off the tee to green. It's just the putting that has really struggled with Davis's game this week. And Chris Kirk, again, he's had a good week. He's under par, but he's not one of those guys I would put in the upper echelon of finishing top 10 in a major. Davis Riley is. He's a young player. He's had a really good season so far. I think he finishes strong today. So I'll take plus money on Davis Riley over Chris Kirk. And go Cam Young. We have an 80-1 ticket. Diane gave it out pre-tournament on Cameron Young. If he wins today, everyone gets coffee and donuts and bagels tomorrow on me. Mark it down.
Can I get a juice? Summer's around the corner. Can I get a green juice?
Yeah, you got you, bro. Whatever you want. Breakfast on me tomorrow if Cam Young wins.
Okay, just
ship the green juice are pretty expensive though. You're bougie. You got a $10 smoothie over here.
Listen, quality costs. Okay, quality costs.
That's why you got to move to New York, right? Quality, a 500 square foot apartment for like $3,000 a month.
Yeah,
quality.
That's it.
Quality.
That's it.
Yeah, right. Before we move on from golf, guys, real quick, I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Do we see Tiger in the U.S. Open in a couple weeks?
Oh God, I don't think so.
No,
don't think so.
No.
Where is it? Torrey Pines?
It's in Massachusetts, I believe.
Brookline. Brookline.
Right.
I don't know much about that course, but physically, I mean, he looked
tough to recover and then get mentally right.
If it was at a course that he's had success at before, like Torrey Pines or something like that, I could see him entering it. I don't recall Tiger ever having a fantastic round at Brookline. And again, you're up in the Northeast. You might not get the most ideal conditions weather-wise, which also is going to play with
weather. Did not help him yesterday. The weather was, I mean, wind, cold, 50 degrees.
Wet.
He needs the summer sun to keep warm. So who knows? Could be a nice day in Massachusetts.
I was watching the MegaCast and can't help but remember this moment. He was practicing, getting out of sand, and when he was walking down into the bunker, it looked like he stepped into a hole or something, and his leg buckled.
Yeah, but okay. So I saw people making a big deal of that. The first thing I looked at was Tiger's face. He didn't wince. He didn't. He didn't like. So I think it was just one of those weird steps he took that didn't bother him. People tried to make a huge deal about it.
Tiger. Oh, hold on, Tiger. I almost called you Tiger. Zeno, listen. Would you ever, if you were in pain in front of, would you wince though? I understand we've seen Tiger on all fours crawling on the golf course before.
We have seen that before.
But I think that just tells you how much pain he was in that moment. I don't think we're going to see Tiger wince in that moment. I think he could play that off, right?
No. I mean, if you kick me in the nuts in public, it's going to hurt. I'm going to wince. I don't know what to tell you. It's a reaction.
Okay, Tiger didn't get kicked in the nuts, man. Okay.
I'm just saying, you can't. Even if you're trying to control wince, you're still going to bite your bottom lip.
In really, really tough pain. I think Tiger is just the fact that he teed it up this week. Just playing one round this week isn't a
Zeno doesn't like this, but I agree with you, Jared. Just seeing Tiger play is fun.
It is a novelty, sadly. I don't think he's ever going to win another major. I think it's like John Daly. It's going to be the same way we feel about watching John Daly tee up. It's fun, and we like seeing him, but I just don't know physically, he is just in really bad
I've known Zeno for years. He said the same thing back in 2018, and then what happened in 2019? He won the match.
I know, but
he won the match.
Zeno said the same exact thing in 2018, and I'll never forget it. Tiger's never going to win again, and then what happened in 2019? But
that was 4 years ago.
Listen, I'm not mad at Tiger. I'm not mad at Tiger for winning another major. I hope he does. I just would never put my money on it. I may as well set it on fire. I may as well use it as toilet paper. So we're talking about.
There's a lot of things that happen in sports that make us feel good about ourselves that we would never bet on. For example, Rich Strike winning the Kentucky Derby. You find me the asshole that actually bet on him to win the Derby, and I'll tell you a liar. No one bet on this guy, but it gave us all joy to see him win.
Except the owner.
The owner, yes, he agreed.
Yeah, yes, the owner's the only guy who actually put a wager on that horse.
But I'm talking about in our little gambling media circuit. Find me the guy that was giving out Rich Strike to win the Derby, and he's a liar. But it gave us. I've never been more excited to watch a 80-1 win. I lost money on that race, and I've never been more excited to lose money on a race to see that happen. But it's hard to really make a logical wager on something like that because it's just it's not going to happen.
We saw Tiger tee it up. We saw him eat a big-ass sandwich in the middle of a round. And we saw him reach into Jordan Spieth's bag and pull out a club. So I don't need to see Tiger do anything else. He's the man. He's the man.
That was pretty funny, actually. That was pretty funny.
Who's reaching into someone else's bag and pulling a club? That's just alpha.
When I golf with you, Glaze, that's exactly what I'm – Glaze, when you and I finally go golfing, that's what I'm doing to you. I'm taking your club out. Give me this.
By the way, Pickswise golf outing. We really do need one.
We do need that. Oh, by the way, another peel back the curtain. I actually sent Glaze pictures of my golf shots, videos of them, and he never even responded at the pure execution. Oh, I text you pictures of my golf swing, videos even.
No way you did that.
Before you started going off last night on your poor NHL bets.
Hold on. Did you send it while I was seeing red?
Yeah, he was in a rough shape last night.
No.
Lauren just texted me, by the way, too. You mad, bro? Oh, wow. Wow, Lauren just blew up your spot in our group chat. She just sent us the full screenshot of your conversation with her. Wow.
I didn't get it. Yeah. It's right here, buddy. It's right here. Let me get it in there. See, those are my videos of you in the text right there. It says Alex Glaze, AG.
Oh my god!
All right,
videos. I'll look at those.
Try to get a reaction out of you. You can see what a real golf swing looks like.
Let's get out of here. Let's give out our plays of the day. Jared, we got any 3 stars on the website?
Let me do a refresh really quick. Actually, yeah, we do. Oh, this makes me feel so much better. I'm not even going to give it out because it is exactly what we said to do. There's 2 hockey plays on the site. Both of them are games that we recommended betting, and both of them agreed with both of our picks. So all 3 of our picks. So I won't give it out, but go to Pickswise.com, 3 stars. Rangers, Canes, Flames, Oilers. You can guess what the picks are, but go check it out. 3 stars. Hockey picks. Get your puck picks.
Love it. Jared, talk about your Rangers.
Woo! All right, I'll preface it with this. I didn't get a chance to give the NRFI out earlier in the show that I was going to bet on. I am on the Tigers Guardians NRFI. I'm laying 30 cents. It was going to be the pod yesterday. It got rained out. If you want to watch the analysis, just go to yesterday's show. But Detroit hasn't scored a run in the first inning in like a million years. And they're facing Shane Bieber today. And that's not good for their chances of scoring today. And Alex Fado on the other side has been really good so far, 3-0 to the NRFI, and he hasn't walked a batter in the first inning. So we're on that NRFI. That's not a play of the day. It could be a play of the day, but the Rangers really caught my eye here. Very good price, plus 155 for the 3-way. Listen, this is a home road split series, just like the last series. The Rangers really struggled offensively on the road in Carolina. I think that changes today on home ice. Afternoon start time. They've got the better goalie. They've got, I think, a chance to make this a series if they win today. I'm not saying they're going to win the series, but this is the series today. It is do or die for the Rangers. If they win in regulation, I'll be really happy. If they win in overtime, I will be less happy, but we're probably going to add some money on them overall for the money line. But for the pod, I got to make up ground because Lauren keeps kicking all of our asses. So I'll go plus 155. 3-way on the blue shirts this afternoon.
I like it. Zeno?
Well, I'm going to give you my play of the day that I didn't change 3 times during the show, unlike the 2 of you waffling weasels. Here we go. Let's go to the Los Angeles Dodgers and Philadelphia Phillies. By the way, side note to this game, love the under here. It was at 10 last night when I got it. It's now down to 9.5. But you're getting Tony Gonsolin starting for the Dodgers. He's been great all year long. He's got a 1.64 ERA. He's got a whip of 1.03. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any start this year. Dodgers have won 3 consecutive starts with him on the bump. Let's look at the Phillies starter in Zach Eflin. Now, Eflin has been bad overall, the numbers this year. But peel back the curtain a little bit and dissect those numbers at home. He's got a 1.13 ERA and a whip of 0.75, giving up just 2 earned runs and 9 hits at home this year, 11 strikeouts over 16 innings. His ERA on the road is over 7. That's why his numbers are bad. So we like the under here, but the play of the day is the NRFI at plus 118. Giddy up. Now, full disclosure, both of these teams are top 10 in first inning run scored percentage. However, they are also both top 10 in opponent first inning run scored percentages, and they don't give it up that much. But I get 2 high-end quality starters here with Eflin at home, Gonsolin here, a Sunday 1 o'clock start to the end of a 4-game series. Give me a NRFI plus 118 on the Dodgers and Phillies.
I like that. All right. I'm tailing that one.
I was on Logan Gilbert, right? And then I flipped it mid-show, which is how this waffling talk started. But I'm waffling back to Logan Gilbert. We're going back to Logan Gilbert.
Double waffle. Double waffle.
Listen. I went with a plus money K prop yesterday. Went over. I'm going to stick with the same thing today. Why stray away from what you're having success with, right? So Logan Gilbert, over 5.5 strikeouts, a plus 104. Facing a Red Sox team, doesn't strike out a whole lot, but had a 9 strikeout performance against the Blue Jays the other day. That's another team that ranks inside the top 10 in fewest strikeouts per game here. So Logan Gilbert's gone up against strong lineups before and has been able to do what he does. Has gone over this number in 3 straight games in 5 of his 8 outings so far this season. He goes long. He has strong outings. Has thrown 95 or more pitches in his last 5 starts. I like the value here, plus money. So I think I'm going to be watching Logan Gilbert starting at 135. I'm going to have Baseball Savant up. I don't have. I'm going to have to see if it's on TV. I don't think I don't get like the.
I don't think it will be. You get MLB TV if you need it.
No,
maybe
I don't
it
have
will.
MLB
Maybe they'll put it on TBS, right? Are there afternoon games, Sunday afternoon games on TBS still? Baseball?
MLB Network might.
MLB Network, maybe.
It's not the Peacock game. You know that. So I don't know. I'll check it out.
But if not, the Pirates Cardinals, the early game. Get that match bet in now.
How could I forget? Zeno, Bryce Wilson on the mound. Bryce Wilson on the mound for the Pirates.
Yeah,
your boy.
I like a YRFI there.
Oh man! All right, well that will do it for us today. You can of course remember to subscribe to the Pickswise YouTube channel and make sure you tune into the show every day at 10 a.m. For Jared and Zeno, I'm Alex. Good luck with your bets. We'll be back tomorrow.